Hi, it's the Rawsome Vegan Gal here, and I have another very important healthy living topic to discuss today. And this might be a little lengthy, but I think it'll be worthwhile. And I recommend that you keep a pen and a paper handy because you might want to take some notes. So this one is called pH balance. pH balance is acid-alkaline body chemistry. So people sometimes ask, like I think my mom asked me, so where do people talk about alkalinity? Like how can we get alkaline? What do we need to do? Of course, food is important, but there are other factors. So let's try to delve into this a little. I have some important information that I will share with you about this. Now, so the pH, what is the pH? It's the measure of the acidity or alkalinity of a solution. The lower the pH, the more acidic it is. The higher the pH, the more alkaline it is. So now our body's chemistry, in a healthy person, water accounts for 70% of our body weight, in case you didn't know. So that's why hydration is so important. The water, also known as the fluid of life, occupies two main compartments within the body. There's the intracellular and the extracellular. So there's inside the cell and there's outside the cell. So what's vital is that the two compartments, to balance and maintain an ideal pH range between the outside and the inside. Many vital body functions, including digestion, enzyme activity, and hormone balance, are completely dependent upon the body to maintain this ideal balance. So we have all these systems in our body that it's very important to maintain this. If the pH is properly balanced, the body fluids will completely demonstrate this factor. So what they tell you here is that the pH of the saliva would be between 6.5 and 6.8. The urine pH fluctuates between 6 and 7. And it's not always easy to maintain this. But the body has three primary systems for maintaining the pH. The respiratory system, the urinary, and the gastrointestinal system, which includes the liver and the pancreas. And even with these protective systems, if you have a poor diet, if you have stress, dehydration, chemicals, and lack of exercise, these can impact the balance. So things we do, factors can affect us, not just the food we eat. Food has a part, but it's not the whole picture. So where I got this little booklet on pH balance, they were talking about testing your pH with using pH strips, but I don't know that that is actually the be-all and the end-all. I've heard people say that you should do like a 24-hour collection of, like, with your urine and then stick one of those strips in. There's so many different factors, so I'm not really sure I can give you the absolute answer that will show that your pH is balanced. But what they say here is when you use the test strips, the most accurate time to test the saliva and urine is first thing in the morning, before the teeth are brushed or any fluid or food is consumed. But again, I'm not sure that it's an exact science. But if you want to check out those pH strips, you can find them anywhere. I'm sure if you go on the internet, they're available. They also say here, either you test it first thing in the morning and at least 3 hours after a meal, and to test it twice a week. So yeah, after a meal, because things fluctuate, you want it to have a balance. So now let's talk about the acidic tendencies in the body. This is very important to know because people tend to get acidic and they don't know where it's coming from. And this has to do with a lot of different factors. So we're going to talk about them. So acid tendencies in the body. The body may borrow some minerals, including calcium, sodium, potassium, and magnesium, from vital organs and bones to buffer the acidic level. So there you go. There's the first thing, is minerals. Minerals are alkalizing for the body. So, for example, people who drink soda, very bad, or use highly refined foods, sugar, white flour, alcohol, fried foods, very acidic. So what happens is our body is such a perfect machine. The Creator gave us this incredible ability that everything could heal itself if you do the right thing. But if you don't, the body will take those minerals from other places that are available, including our bones and our teeth. Those are the two most readily available places to get the minerals. So therefore, it'll extract it from those areas in order to basically balance or buffer out the acidity. Then the alkaline tendencies in the body, though less common, alkalinity in the body may affect some kinds of functions, the same kind of functions as acidity. It often takes more support and time for a person who has alkaline tendencies to achieve optimal balance, because the body may be less capable of excreting acids, through the kidneys and the liver and the bowel may compensate for producing other substances. But most people are too acidic. They're not usually too alkaline. So other things that there's 4 major factors behind acid. We already mentioned acid-forming foods. Stress. Life stressors create an artificially high production of adrenaline, which is a naturally acidic compound. So definitely relaxation, yoga, meditation, things that calm the body down. We need to take that time. Deep breathing. Exposure to toxic chemicals. Many of the products we routinely use to clean our bodies, our clothes, and our homes. 3 things: bodies, clothes, and homes. Contain significant concentrations of toxic chemicals. People are not always looking into that. They can eat really healthy, clean food and water, and and very strict, organic, and they grow it themselves. But then, when it comes to cleaning their clothes or what they lather on their skin or lather on their body or clean themselves with, they're not looking at. And that's a huge factor, because whatever you put on the skin gets absorbed directly into the body. There's no means for it to, or need for it to actually have any kind of breakdown. It just goes right into the bloodstream. And then the other thing I just mentioned, water, is impure water. Due to a lot of things that happen, fertilizers, pesticides, chemicals. People drink the tap water and think it's okay. Some people say, oh, it doesn't matter, it's fine, But the problem is that there's so much garbage in there, so to speak, that it does affect our health. And people don't realize it. And what happens is we're robbing our bodies, our tissues, and our organs of the nutrients we need. And this is affecting our health overall, so we don't want that. So maintaining balance in the body's pH may affect your health in many ways. We mentioned some things, but let's talk more. So this is pretty significant, because a lot of things can be affected by acidity. Hormone levels, cardiovascular health, weight gain or loss. So not just weight loss, weight gain too. Bladder and kidney efficiency, immune function, free radical damage, structural system integrity, liver function, energy levels, digestion and elimination, microbiological environment. So all these things are affected by an acidic environment in your body, and a lot of people are not realizing that. The pH of the urine testing can indicate how well your body is excreting acids and assimilating minerals, including calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. These minerals function as buffers. Buffers are substances that help maintain and balance the body against the introduction of too much acidity or too much alkaline. So we need those buffers. Minerals are buffers for the body. Even with the proper amount of buffers, acid or alkaline levels can fluctuate. When the body ingests or produces too many of the acids or alkalis, it must excrete it. So if you're too alkaline too, it's going to excrete it. The urine is the perfect way for the body to remove any excess acids or alkaline that cannot be buffered. So the body's acid management, this is how it does it. Excretion of acids from the body, from the colon, kidneys, lung, and skin. Colon, kidney, lungs, and skin. Buffering of acids, it uses calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. The storage of acids can happen in tissues, joints, muscles, and arteries. And an emergency backup system to control acids is liver and bowels produce ammonia. So if you have a strong ammonia smell that comes out of your body when you eliminate, that's not a good thing. That means that's like the backup. Like everything else should be working, excreting everything that we need. So if it happens that way, that's not necessarily a great thing. Okay? Then the saliva pH, let's talk about that. The results of saliva testing may indicate the activity of digestive enzymes in the body. So your salivary glands, there's enzymes in there that help break down the food. These enzymes are primarily manufactured by the stomach, liver, and pancreas. While the saliva also utilizes buffers just like the urine, it relies on this process to a much lesser degree. And then they're saying if the saliva pH is below 6.5, the body may produce too many acids, and if it's over 6.8, the body should be aided by diet. So that's the different things. So it's showing here, so the enzymes, so they have actually a nice picture on this chart here. It shows you a picture of the enzymes. I don't know if you can see that, if it's clear enough. So they show you here in the saliva, and in the liver, in the stomach, the pancreas, the small intestine, and the colon. Okay, then let's see where we're at here. And then let's talk a little more. And then I'm going to talk to you. I have a chart here that I'm going to talk a little bit about foods. What foods we can eat to help with alkalinity. So also continuing on, let's see. Maintaining a slightly alkaline pH is essential. So we mentioned, I think I mentioned maybe didn't blood pH too, between 7.35 7.45 to carry oxygen to cells. Higher or lower than this, and the body shuts down. So we maintain that. Again, we can't test that with the pH strips. So maintaining a slightly alkaline pH is essential for immunity, digestion, and cardiovascular, enzyme, metabolic process, and energy production. I mentioned some other things before as well. Let's see. So how does the body regulate the pH? Through the alkaline minerals. It regulates pH through alkaline minerals inside and outside the cells and mineral reserves stored within the bones. And there are buffer systems in the blood to maintain the pH. Lungs take in alkaline oxygen and let out acidic carbon dioxide. That's why deep breathing is very helpful to the body. Kidneys eliminate excess amounts of acid or alkaline in the urine. Okay, and let's see. So I mentioned about the stuff that can upset the pH balance. And let's see, also, how it impacts the health. It robs the organs or musculoskeletal tissue of nutrients. I think I mentioned that as well. Decrease the immune system ability to kill bacteria. Okay, acidic pH also decreases the immune system's ability to kill bacteria and viruses, therefore increasing the frequency of colds and flus. So think about that. If you're having a lot of colds and flus, you might want to think about what you're taking in, how your immune system is functioning, and also don't blame it on the outside sources, because what happens is our immune system has to be depressed first. We're the primary. If our primary system is shutting down, the secondary factor is the outside sources that can, quote unquote, we can catch something from that. It's because our immune system is already depressed. Overacidity can trigger the symptoms and also extend the suffering associated with allergies. So think about that too if you have allergies. Other symptoms of acid-alkaline imbalance would be heartburn, bloating, feeling full after eating small amounts, feeling stiff and achy, continually tired or lethargic, difficult to lose weight for people who have that, so more acidic from the lifestyle and diet, more fat the body needs to retain to buffer the acidic acids from body functions. Again, let me repeat that for those of you who are unfortunately overweight. The more acidic your lifestyle, your choices, the more fat your body needs to retain. It needs to keep that fat in to buffer the acidic acids from the bodily functions, okay? Chronic acidosis is a hidden cause of osteoporosis. Some people maybe never knew that. That's interesting. More acidic, the more body compensates by releasing buffering minerals into the bloodstream, like calcium from the skeleton and bones, as bones contain one of the major reserves of alkaline minerals. If the pH balance lasts long enough, a depletion of bone mass occurs, resulting in bones that are fragile and prone to breakage. So if this keeps happening, excess acids amount in body are at risk for degenerative diseases. So people don't realize that. The more acidic you get, the more likely you're to get serious problems, such as arthritis, cancer, hypertension, heart disease, memory loss, and diabetes. So that's very important to realize that. So how do we change our pH? Now let's talk about that, because that's an important thing. So there's a bunch of different factors that can do that. One thing would be daily stress reduction techniques, which I did mention: meditation, prayer, deep breathing, yoga exercises, things that help reduce the stress. Also, drinking clean, pure, filtered water. I know a lot of people may think it's hokey pokey, but I think there's something to it. I know for a fact, because I've actually done water fasting, and I felt completely 100% fine drinking more alkaline water, which I purchased, not using even filtered water, and it was much, much higher alkaline, and I felt great, and I think that's the reason why. So source out some good alkaline water, also not in plastic. Do not use plastic water. It is total garbage, and you're also taking in what's called xenoestrogens, which are harmful to the body and cause more hormonal problems. Search out something in glass. One company I really like is Mountain Valley Spring Water, and they come in a green glass bottle. You're going to pay a little more for it, but it is high quality. And I'll put a link to their site below this video as well. Also, use a variety of detoxing methods. If you do different kinds of detoxification, like I mentioned, water fast. Not everyone can do a water fast. It's pretty tough. I've also done dry fasting. On my blog, I'll have a link below this video to my blog. I have all those kind of cleanses and fasts that I've done. Dry fasting, again, I'm not responsible. I'm telling you right now, I don't recommend anyone do what I've done. I've done things for a very long time and was successful because I had a lot of background in it and eating very healthy. So I don't recommend you do that, and if you do decide, I'm not responsible for any problems you deal with, so do not do that. Better you do something like a juice fast. The reason I don't recommend juices all the time because they're high sugar, but if you do a juice fast on green juices, that's much better, like spinach, kale, collard with celery and cucumber and parsley, things like that, and even some ginger and turmeric, which are very healing and antioxidants and anti-inflammatory. Then that would be really good. You could try it for one meal. Do what juice fast 1 meal a day. You're relaxing your digestive system, so that's important. Also doing things like Epsom salt baths. You take like 2 cups of Epsom salt and you put some ginger powder in there too, which makes it a little hotter, but it's really good, very cleansing. Some people may do a colon cleanse. I'm not so keen on the products. I'd rather you do something more naturally. Another very important factor is, I mentioned before, about your cleaning products and also what products you put on your skin and your body. So search out non-toxic cleaning products. There's some good brands out there. There's like 7th Generation, Ecover. Some I don't recommend because they're really not truly pure. Like there's a brand I really don't care for. It's called Mrs. Meyer's. A lot of people are so hooked on it, but it smells very chemical. And I know, I can tell the difference. My body's very sensitive. So search out natural things. Or I did actually a video on making your own cleaning products. So make some of your own. Vinegar, baking soda, water, tea tree oil. There's so many natural things you could put together making your cleaners. And I recommend that even better. And then also what you eat. Eat foods that are alkalizing to the body, especially fruits and vegetables. Now vegetables are more, and certain fruits are more than others. So the sprouts, too, are very high alkalizing. Also organically grown because you're not getting all the pesticides and chemicals. So things like green foods, green leafy vegetables, wheatgrass juice, and sprouts. And especially the ones that contain calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium because those are the minerals. Now you don't want to eat tons of sodium or salty things, but things that are naturally occurring, spinach, tomatoes, celery have naturally occurring sodium. So that's very important. And then I'm going to talk to you about how oxidation affects the body in just a minute. But I want to just tell you that when you have a slightly more alkaline pH, you decrease oxidation. So you get more minerals into your cells, and the body can heal itself. So increase in oxidation, increase of oxidation of cells. So you don't want oxidation. So if the oxidation increases, you increase dehydration and increase the concentration of acids, which we do not want. Oxidation causes bodies to break down and age. Each cell is composed of a combination of proteins, minerals, and fats. So when exposed to oxidation, what happens? Fats become rancid, proteins putrefy, and minerals rust. What does this lead to? Decomposition. Oxidation destroys the body, causing wrinkles, degeneration of bones, organs, and glandular systems, weakening cell membranes, and loss of vitality, leading to disease and death. What causes oxidation? Free radicals. You see in nature that metal rusts, plants decompose, proteins like meat putrefy, and oils become rancid when exposed to free radicals. So free radicals cause oxidation. So you don't want to consume those things that cause oxidation. How is oxidation stopped? By antioxidants. So foods that are high in antioxidants. Berries are very high in antioxidants. There's a lot of superfoods that are high in antioxidants. Now, what you're looking at is the ORP, the oxidant reduction potential. These are foods with a higher mineral content and are much better for you. So that should give you some food for thought. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about oxidation because I think people need to really understand what it's all about. It's a process which our bodies break down or age. Each cell in our bodies contains a combination. I mentioned it's protein. Okay, what causes oxidation? I actually went through this before. How can we stop oxidation? I mentioned oxygen-rich food, also the water we drink. So I did go through that. I was just looking at another chart here of information. So now also about water. I mentioned that your body is 70% water, and it's composed of roughly 70 trillion cells, and it ranges from 76 to 98% water. But most Americans are chronically dehydrated. And what does chronic dehydration lead to? Headaches, arthritis, lethargy, constipation, insomnia, brain fog, etc. So think about that, the water you drink. Now let's talk about, finally, we're going to end this on this part. I know this has been going long, but I think you'll get a lot of good information out of this. So now I have here a chart that talks about the acid and alkaline foods. And this is taken from Acid and Alkaline by Herman Aihara, Alkalize or Die by Theodore Baroody. And I will put links to these names of these books in case you want to look at it. So they're telling you here, eat 80% alkaline foods and 20% acid foods for perfect pH balance. I'm going to put this into the camera here. I don't know, you can't really see the whole thing. I thought maybe if someone wants to take a screenshot, but I can't get it any closer because it won't show up clear. So there's different food categories, and some I'm not going to include because I'm a vegan. I don't believe that meat, eggs, or dairy should be eaten, or oils as well, more acidic to the body. So let's first talk about what they say here, sweeteners. So they have a side that they show alkaline, most alkaline, alkaline, and lowest alkaline, and then lowest acid, acid, and most acid. So again, you want 80% alkaline, 20% acid foods for your balance of pH, for the perfect balance. So the lowest alkaline would be raw honey or raw sugar, which I don't recommend. The next alkaline would be maple syrup or rice syrup, which I also don't recommend. The most alkaline would be stevia. Some people call it stevia. It's actually stevia. And I did a video also on about sugar. Like, sugar is not a food group. You can look that up, and I talk all about options. So stevia is definitely a great option. There's some other pretty good options. I don't know where they rate on the alkaline scale, but things like coconut nectar, which actually is not a sugar. There's a bunch of other different ones out there, erythritol, xylitol, I think monk fruit. There's a bunch of others I'm not aware of, coconut sugar. So there's a bunch that are better. So on the acid side, the lowest acid side would be processed honey molasses, acid white sugar, brown sugar. Most acid would be NutraSweet, equal, sweet, and low. I don't recommend any on the acid side. Most I recommend is stevia, coconut sugar, coconut nectar, much better for you. Now fruits. You know, some people don't realize that some fruits are more acidic and some fruits are more alkaline. So as far as the alkaline, the lowest on the alkaline side are oranges, bananas, cherries, pineapples, peaches, and avocados. The next is the alkaline ones are dates and figs, melons, grapes, papaya, kiwis, berries, apples, pears, and raisins. And the most alkaline are lemons. People think it's acidic, but it actually becomes alkaline in the body. Watermelon is very alkaline, limes, grapefruit, mangoes, and papayas. Papaya was also mentioned in the alkaline, so I guess it maybe crosses over. So now on the lowest of the acid side, we have plums and processed fruit juices. The acid would be sour cherries and rhubarb. The most acid, blueberries, cranberries, and prunes. Now that's very interesting because they said it was on the alkaline side, berries. So I don't know if that's actually not true or not, because that sounds very strange. But okay, that's what they said here. Next is beans, vegetables, and legumes. So the lowest of the alkaline side, again, it's still better because it's alkaline. Don't think that it's bad for you. It's just the lowest of the alkaline foods. Carrots, tomatoes, fresh corn, mushrooms, cabbage, peas, potato skins, and olives. Next, alkaline would be okra, squash, green beans, beets, celery, lettuce, zucchini, and sweet potato. And the most alkaline, they say, again, this may have changed from when these books were written, I don't know. Asparagus, onions, vegetable juices, parsley, raw spinach, broccoli, and garlic. Now on the acid side, we have cooked spinach, lowest acid, cooked spinach, kidney beans, and string beans, acid, potatoes, pinto beans, navy beans, lima beans, and soybeans, and most acid, carrot. But don't forget, you can have some acid foods, just not lots and lots and lots of them. Like, you're not going to make your whole day a meal of carob or something. Nuts and seeds. The lowest alkaline would be chestnuts, and then alkaline would be almonds, and they don't have anything on the most alkaline side. On the opposite side, the lowest acid are pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, which I would agree seeds are also, I would also include hemp seeds, which are not here, sesame seeds, chia seeds. They're not listed here, but I'm not sure if where they fit in, but possibly. The next, the acid would be pecans and cashews, and the most acid, peanuts and walnuts. Now, there is another type of nut that I recommend. It's called a jungle peanut. And I've also done videos for a company called Foods Alive. If you look up, if you do a search on my channel, so I mention them because they're much different quality food. And then oils I don't recommend, so we'll skip over that. Grains and cereals that they recommend. The lowest alkaline they say are amaranth, millet, wild rice, and quinoa. They don't have any on the alkaline or most alkaline. But I would probably also include, because it's not on here, there's teff, which is also really good. Amaranth. Oh, amaranth is listed. Yeah, I don't know about the others. Then on the lowest side, lowest acid would be sprouted wheat bread, spelt, and brown rice. And I don't recommend wheat, actually, because of the gluten factor. The next one is the acid one, white rice, corn, buckwheat, oats, and rye. The most acid would be wheat, white flour, pastries, and pasta. Finally, beverages, which I do recommend, of course, water. So the lowest alkaline is ginger tea, the alkaline is green tea, and the most alkaline is lemon water or herb teas. And I have a nice recipe for that I'll share with you in just a moment. And on the lowest acid side is just tea in general. Acid is coffee, and most acid is beer and soft drinks. So when it said lemon water, lemon is very alkalizing. So what I've done in the past, and I would like to maybe start doing again once where I'm living, get a big refrigerator and some more mason jars, is take a quart mason jar, fill it up with good filtered purified water, maybe get from the Mountain Valley spring water, and then add some lemon slices, slice it with the rind, put it all in, make nice slices. You could do lemon, you could do lime, you could do a combination. You can also do lemon, lime, orange. I mean, but it's really good. And then I also take slices of cucumber, because cucumber is alkaline. Now, I don't remember if they mentioned cucumber here on the vegetable side. I did not see cucumber here, so zucchini. But cucumber is very alkaline. So then what I did was I let it sit in the water, like, for a while, and then, then pour some out, and then have a slice of cucumber and lemon with it after I'm drinking it, I have that with. So it was so delicious. It actually makes the water taste really good. Like if you're not just used to drinking plain water, you might be Another thing you could do is put stevia in it. I get stevia green powder. Do not get the white powder. It's denatured. Stevia in nature is green. Some people call it stevia. It's actually pronounced stevia, so you know. You could put some of that in your water, and it makes the water taste delish. Not only that, you forget that since stevia is a green leaf, it is chock full of vitamins and minerals actually from A to Z. If you want to learn more about stevia, the benefits, and how it came to this country, amazing book called The Miracle of Stevia by James A. May, and I'll have a link to that as well below this video. So I hope you enjoyed this really lengthy video, but I think I shared with you some really great information on acid and alkaline and how to balance it out and get a proper pH for your body so that you stay healthy for the long haul. So thanks for watching. It's the Rawesome Vegan Gal.